is Becky, Miss B of Miss B Group Travel. If you are new to this channel, welcome. And if you're an existing subscriber, thank you. I appreciate it. Today's video is about, should we travel when the international airports are open post-COVID? Okay. Right, so I'm based in the UK. Our airports are due to open on the 15th of July. And the question I keep getting, in fact, the question I even ask myself is, should we be traveling as soon as the airports open? Well, number one, the country guidelines. Check with your country guidelines. At the moment, the UK says that they do not advise against traveling unless it's essential travel. Now, what that means is your travel insurance as well is not covered if the country guidelines state that you should not be traveling. What I would say is, please check with your travel insurer before you make that trip. Check with the travel insurers what you are covered for. If you're not, a lot of them are not going to cover you for any of the COVID information stuff, especially when you know what's going on, and especially if it's against the country guidelines. So that is what I would do. Check with your country's guideline on whether it is okay for you to travel, and check with your insurance company to make sure that you are covered and what is not covered, and then you can make your decision. Okay, because we're seeing a lot of a lot of countries opening up and letting us know that it's okay to travel, but we don't know whether we're going to be covered. Right, number two. So regarding the travel insurance company, there's probably going to be some amendments. Obviously, after this pandemic, they've got to protect themselves and also have to let people aware. Do check with your travel insurance terms and conditions, especially the small print, and to see what sort of cover now is available. You might be on one of those covers where you pay the first 5% of your hospital stay or whatever stay. So please do check again any amendments that may have occurred during this pandemic to your travel insurance to see what sort of coverage or leverage that you have. Right, number three, check the news and the info for the country that you intend to visit. I will give you an example. If you were going to a country where they are open for tourists to come, but you may be enforced to a 7-day quarantine period, is it really worth it if you're going for 10 days to stay 7 days locked up in a hotel room? I don't think so. But again, check the news from this company, check the embassy information for this company, and I would set up an alert on my phone. If you're traveling in the next 2 weeks or 3 weeks, I would say set up daily alerts from the an official notification, I would say, from the embassy of that country or from the news outlets from the country to check, to make sure you will be able to get into the country, b, that nothing has changed, because as we watch the news, we can see that different countries, some are getting second waves and some are getting a different different rates coming up. So it might be that whilst when you booked it and airlines are flying there, or they're scheduled to fly there now, by the time it's time for you to go, the situation will have changed. So definitely set up alert for the country you intend to visit, and make sure and find out as much as you can if they have quarantine facilities, what then happens if you fall ill or if you arrive ill, what do you have to pay for anything, or have they got facilities there for you. Right now we are based in the UK. I'm based in the UK. We're still under the European Union, so again, just check if you're able to still get treatment from the hotels, from hospitals. We should still be able to until December, because I think we're under transition period. But again, this is a different and certain time, so do make sure you check all that information. Right, and then number four, I would say carry some extra cash. Might not be in the form of cash physically, but a credit card, Visa, MasterCard, whatever internationally is out there, to make sure, just in case you have to come back and come back early, or come back in an emergency. Okay, because again, I will say, people were stuck outside the country and had to and if they needed to come back, you have to pay your own way. So just make sure that in case anything happens, take some extra cash or have some extra money available to you. Okay, right. And again, I did a previous video the last week regarding some things that I would carry with myself post-COVID now, which is a little bit different. Some of things you may have been carrying already, but I would definitely, if you can, carry a little bit of a first aid kit, your normal medicine, and the masks. Do not forget to carry a mask. A lot of countries, what seems to be universal around the world is the use of masks. So carry a couple of masks with you, washables and disposable ones. That way, when you do get to the country that you intend to visit, you don't know what sort of laws have been put in place as well, is in regarding to covering your face and risk of cross infection. So I would definitely carry a couple of those just to keep yourself on the safe side. And then last but not least, I would definitely say, if you are, don't be afraid to travel. We will get back to traveling, just worried about getting straight away. We've seen a lot of work that the airlines, trains and buses have put in to make sure that post-COVID people are a bit safer. There's a lot of sanitary cleaning going ahead. There's a lot of enforcement of different things, i.e. again, I will stress the mask. There's different cleaning pods and stations, gels and hand wash basins all over the place. Heathrow, for example, we were in Heathrow last week, and if you're not traveling, they were minimizing the people getting into the airport so that there's less people in there. They've got distancing, even on the seats. They've got a temperature check site, and you must have a mask to get into Heathrow Airport. We were at Terminal 4, by the way, so it had clearly signed postage to say, do have a mask. Otherwise, no mask, no entry. Some planes will actually say no mask, no flight. So do not assume that you'll be given these on the flight. So I'm going to put a couple of links on the bottom of some of these things like masks, or who you can buy from. Lots of good vendors out there. I did recommend somebody in my last video last week, and yes, I think I'll just leave it here. So that's my five. Well, there's my 5 analysis of what we should do and what to look out for if you want to travel post-COVID. So again, check with check with your own country guideline where you're leaving from, and then check with your travel insurance whether you're covered, and check the news and the press from the embassy from the country you intend to travel to. Have some extra spare cash or ability to be able to travel back if you need to in the case of an emergency. And number 5, check with your airline or your mode of transport guidelines of what you need to bring to be able to get on board. And they've done a great job. And again, I'm so looking forward to flying. As always, if you've got your comments, I may have missed some things, but I'd love to hear your feedback on what you think about travel post-COVID. And until the next one, stay safe, wash your hands, and have a great day.